Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the iOS 15 Developer Beta 1. Yeah, something that I'm sure most of you didn't expect to hear on this channel, considering that, well, we do videos on vintage technology, right? But yeah, we're going to be diving into the very first developer beta of iOS 15 that was released shortly after the WWDC keynote on Monday. But to add a bit of MJD-ness to this video, we're going to be installing it on the oldest officially supported device, which is the iPhone 6s, which was released in the fall of 2015, making this almost 6 years old. And I'm kind of impressed, I'm really impressed to be honest with you, because when iOS 15 officially releases, that will be in the fall, and this device will turn 6 years old, and it's amazing that they're still going to support this device for another release cycle. Maybe in iOS 16 they will finally drop it, but yeah, we're going to be seeing how it performs, if we run into any issues installing it, which you know this is an MJD video, so something always seems to go wrong, right? So we're going to be seeing how smooth that this installation process is. I also want to give a huge thanks to Exter for sponsoring this video. They create premium quality wallets and card holders that you'll never have to worry about losing thanks to their custom-made Chipolo tracking device. The Parliament wallet that I personally use makes your 6 most important cards easily accessible through the press of a button. Click the link down below and get up to 25% off your order for a limited time. Now, to give a disclaimer here at the beginning of this video, if you're looking for an iOS 15 review, if you're looking for a video that takes you through the new features in iOS 15, this is not going to be that video at all. This is not a review, this is not an overview of the new features. We're going to be installing it on the oldest supported device, again, the iPhone 6s, and we're going to see how it runs, and we're going to see how straightforward the installation process actually is, which should be pretty straightforward. I have installed iOS betas before, but what I think is going to make this interesting is this device is currently running the iOS 14 public beta, because this device, when I upgraded from this to my iPhone 11, which is what I currently use, this device has become my secondary iPhone that I use mainly for installing iOS betas. That's why the iOS 14 public beta is on here. But I don't know if you can upgrade directly from the iOS 14 public beta to the iOS 15 developer beta. We might have to do a clean install, which would be fine, but we're going to be seeing if it's even possible to just do a on-device upgrade using the beta profile that I already have installed on here. So if we unlock the phone, you'll see the first thing it will do is it will say a new iOS update is now available, because, you know, it wants us to get off the iOS 14 beta, because iOS 14 has been out for almost a year now, right? And first thing I'm going to do is, you can see that the battery is very low. I'm going to plug it into the wall here. Now we can go into settings, we can go into general, and we can go into, actually, just to show you, let's go to about here, and let's take a look at the specific version that we're running. So we're running 14.0, obviously this was the public beta, and let me look up this build string here. Okay, so this build string corresponds to iOS 14 public beta 2, which was released on July 7th, 2020, even though this says beta 2 if the date didn't give it away. Somebody posted a screenshot of the software update page right here, and you can see it says iOS 14 public beta 2. So that's what this is running. So the question is, can we go into software update? Again, I've already got the beta profile installed. Can we just do an on-device upgrade here to the iOS 15 developer beta? Let's hit download and install and find out. Though I wonder if, am I going to have enough space on here? Because this is a 16 gig iPhone. Yes, I used to use a 16 gig iPhone. It was really wonderful. 16 gigs used to be plenty of space, right? Back when, like, the iPhone, you know, 4 was a thing, right? 16 gigs was plenty of space. I started to have major storage problems on this thing, because that's why you can see I have basically no apps on here, because I've deleted all of them to make space for, I used to use this to record. I actually use this as like a secondary camera, and, you know, that took up space pretty quickly, right? So I would, you know, when I used to use this as a secondary camera, I had to keep the storage pretty open on here, you know, have really no apps on here. If we go to iPhone storage, okay, so we're doing pretty good. We've got 10.7 gigs used of 16 gigs, so we have plenty of space. You can see the iOS 15 developer beta is growing in size there because it's obviously downloading. But yeah, it's downloading. It's got about 4 minutes remaining, so let's let it do its thing, shall we? This update requires at least 20% battery while connected to a power source. Okay, so we're at 13% now. Verifying update. Okay, this is well, I'm not going to say anything because, you know, something could go wrong. Unable to install update. An error occurred installing iOS 15 developer beta. See, what did I tell you guys? Every single video, okay, not every single video, but most of these project videos, something always goes wrong, even if it's like a little thing. Yep, it says the same thing. Unable to install updates. It just says an error occurred. Doesn't give us an error code. So yeah, I'm gonna take an educated guess and say that that's happening because we're trying to go from iOS 14 public beta 2 to iOS 15 developer beta 1. What we can do though, and I didn't really think of this before, but we can just go down here and we can go to the profile. We can remove the developer profile. I'll have to reinstall it later and we'll restart. We can just go to using iTunes on my Windows computer if we have to. We can obviously go that route and just do a clean install, but I would like to see if we can do the upgrade. So we can go straight from public beta 2 to iOS 14.6. We can't download and install it because there's not going to be enough storage space. So we're going to have to go to iPhone storage. And, oh, does it just remove the iOS 15 beta that it had downloaded when you uninstall the profile? Okay, that's nice. So, we can upgrade to iOS 14.6 and then upgrade from this. I have to reinstall the beta profile. I did not want to highlight that, but thank you. Upgrade from this to the iOS 15 beta. Okay, so we're making progress. This is great. But yeah, like I said, you see, we always seem to run into some sort of issue, but that makes the video, at least I hear from you guys that you guys like it when things go wrong because it makes the video a little more interesting, and that's what I've always thought, so it's great to hear that you guys feel the same way about that. So we'll let this download, we'll install it, and I'll be back with you guys shortly. Hey guys! Did you know a new iOS update is available? Gee, it's almost as if I'm trying to install it right now, but yet every time when I unlock the phone, it's going to warn me that, hey, there's a new iOS update. Did you know that? Did you know? Oh yeah, by the way, while this, okay, so I found this hilarious because you guys remember that video I did a while back where we took, gosh, that's like the intro to my Windows 12 video, I just realized that. So you guys remember that video I did a while back where we took a look at Windows 12? You guys remember the FaceTime for Chrome scam video where we took a look at that extension that was in the Chrome web store that said, oh, it's FaceTime for Chrome. Obviously it was like a scam, it was just to get you to like fill out a bunch of surveys, but now it's a real thing. You can join FaceTime calls from a Windows or an Android device through your browser, which is awesome. So I have people go into that video saying like, now it's official, you can use FaceTime in Google Chrome. So it's not, I mean, that extension is obviously still a scam. So that might mean that unless Google gets their act together, because the last time I checked, all those extensions were still in the Chrome Web Store, those extensions could fool even more people. It's still a thing, at least. Well, you got this one right here, download FaceTime for PC. If you want to download FaceTime app for PC, then click the above link. Obviously, I'm not in Chrome here, so this is Skype. What is this? They've got a screenshot of Skype here. Like, okay, that's pretty funny. And you've got the FaceTime logo here, FaceTime Windows 10, and they've got a Mac, a screenshot of a MacBook Air here, or an image of the MacBook Air with FaceTime. This is macOS Mavericks, or OS 10 Mavericks as it was called back then. That's really hilarious. Okay, you can see again 20,000 users, 2 stars. So yeah, these extensions, I'm gonna take a guess, will fool even more people. I'm sure everyone watching can easily tell that that's a scam because of all you got Skype screenshots, the old MacBook photo, etc. But, you know, not everyone's gonna be able to tell that, right? And 20,000 people downloaded that, I assume, thinking that it was, the real thing, that you can actually access FaceTime from Chrome. But anyway, we are getting sidetracked here, but that's how these videos go, and that's why, again, this is not a iOS 15 review at all. Hello, welcome back. So we've got the latest release of iOS 14. This is iOS 14.6, obviously, as you saw before. And we're going to avoid creating a password, even though it will probably say you should use one. No, it's fine. And though I would recommend obviously using one if this was your actual phone that you use. We're gonna not share, get started, and there we go. Now the settings app here, okay, that's finished setting up your iPhone. So we're going to, I'm gonna install the beta profile again. I'm gonna have to do that off camera, so let me do that really quickly. It's installed, everybody. So let's go back into settings here, and I'm curious our current storage situation. So, ooh, yeah, okay, 12.8, it's going down. 10.7 gigs of 16 gigs used. So that is going to be plenty of space because the update is about 4 gigs in size. There it is, iOS 15 developer beta. And there's a different icon as well than what we had before, you know, just the generic settings gear icon, right? So they've changed that, and that's pretty nice. I guess you only see it on iOS 14.6 though. So we'll download and install. Update cannot be installed because it requires at least 5.36 gigabytes of available storage. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it said 4 gigabytes last time, 4.36 or something like that. Okay, whatever. So we'll go to iPhone storage here, and we'll have to delete a couple of things. 12 minutes remaining. Okay, so we have enough free space now for it to download the update. Perfect. 20 seconds remaining, people. We're almost there. Preparing update. There we go. Downloaded. Install now. Verifying update. Now, if you remember, this is where it failed when we were on the iOS 14 public beta. Oh no, it failed again. Unable to install update. An error occurred installing iOS 15 developer beta. The same message we got before. Alright, let's just try it again. Why not? Alright, well this is certainly turning into an MJD video if I do say so myself. So, you see we've got my laptop opened up here with iTunes, and we're going to be trying another thing, or another method to get this beta to install properly. Now, we can just download the iOS 15 IPSW file that Apple puts out for each iPhone and each iPad, or well, it's iPad OS now. And, you know, for each device, they release an IPSW file that you can download. Now, we could just do that and do a restore in iTunes here, but we're going to try to get the OTA method, or the over-the-air method, to work by restoring this iPhone to factory settings on iOS. I do not want to edit the home screen on iOS 14.6, which is what it's on right now, and then trying to do the over-the-air update again. Now, I did some research, and I found a post over on Reddit of some people describing the same issue of them trying to go into software update with the beta profile installed, and, you know, it erroring out with that same exact error message. So this could be because there's just a large number of people trying to download and install this beta at the same time. So that could very well be the issue. But I think it's worth trying to restore this back to iOS 14.6, you know, to factory settings, and then just try to do the over-the-air update once more. So I'm going to plug my iPhone into my computer here. Do you want to allow this computer to access the information? We're going to say continue, and we're going to say trust on the iPhone. What? iTunes could not connect to this iPhone. An unknown error occurred. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay, so this independent advisor this is actually on the Microsoft Answers site, or the Microsoft community section, right? It said, or this guy says, this error is usually because iTunes cannot recognize the attached device. It may be worth trying another cable. Oh, you know what? I feel like I had that issue with this cable before. Okay, so let's try this. Nope, that's not gonna do it. It does the same exact thing. Now, this is the latest version of iTunes. Okay, so that didn't do anything. Okay, new plan. Let's put the device into DFU mode, shall we? There we go. iTunes says detected an iPhone in recovery mode. You must restore this device. Okay, so we'll go down here and we will restore iPhone. Are you sure you want to restore the iPhone to its factory settings? Restore and update? Absolutely. iOS 14.6. The license agreement right here. Agree. Yeah, going into DFU mode typically allows you to restore the iPhone back to factory settings. Now, we could do a reset all settings on the iPhone, but I wanted to do a clean restore, which is what we're doing now because we're actually downloading the IPSW that iTunes is going to use to restore it back to factory settings. And, you know, I could do all this and it still give us the same error when we try to update to iOS 15. So if that happens, we will just download the iOS 15 IPSW, do a shift click on restore, and then, you know, select that IPSW and then just restore that way, which I could just do right now, but I really want to see if we can get the over-the-air update to work. Alright, so the phone has restarted. The restore process has completed successfully, though we do get this error message, the same error message when it tries to connect to the phone now that it's out of DFU mode, but we can go through here, English, US. Okay, so now I just got to get the beta profile installed on here again. It's working, everybody. Check it out. There we are. And yeah, that's that awesome new hello animation, kind of a reference to the original Macintosh. I think it's super cool. And yeah, so we're going to press the home button here. Software update complete. Your iPhone has been updated to iOS 15.0. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to set up Touch ID later. We're not going to use, I'm not going to bother setting a password and all that, so we'll go password options. Let's see if it still lets you skip this. Don't use passcode. Okay. iPhone analytics. Okay, continue. And yeah, here we are, everybody, on the home screen of iOS 15. And, you know, right off the bat, there's no real noticeable, like, massive changes. But when we start to go into the applications here, and when we open up the notification center, you will see, actually, well, I'm going to have to get some notifications to trigger here. Let's set a reminder here. Now, again, this is not a in-depth review. This is actually my very first time using iOS 15. So I've got a list of new features over here that I'm going to be referring to you know, throughout the video here, or throughout the rest of the video. This video is going to be pretty long. You can probably, if you're still watching this far into the video, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. I've got like 2 hours worth of footage, or what feels like 2 hours worth of footage so far. So I've got a lot of stuff to go through, but we're just going to set it just to show you the new notifications. We're going to set a reminder here. So we'll do 4:35 p.m. because you cannot set a, like, you can't dial it in exactly to the second. It just goes by 5 seconds here. So 35 p.m. So we'll wait for the notification to show up. And while that's going on, let's dive into the weather app here. Now, the weather app got essentially a complete redesign here. So you've got these new areas. They've kind of split up and just for comparison here, I can actually show you the way the old weather app looks. Let me pull up weather on my phone here, and you can see, you know, you kind of have a similar design going on like what you have over here, right, with your notifications and your widgets, just kind of how they are laid out, which I think is really, really nice. So you've got your, you know, current conditions here. You've got your hour-by-hour forecast, your 10-day forecast here. Perfect. Here is what the new notifications look like. Yeah, when they were showing off the new notifications at WWDC, I just was like, this is really cool looking. They just look much sleeker, and I just really like the new design. So yeah, there you go. And down here, you've got essentially everything in this grid here has been updated, and they get their own little widget now. So you've got UV index, sunset, wind, precipitation, feels like, humidity, visibility, pressure, all that good stuff. And, you know, you get more, you know, it's more graphical. You get a little more info. And yeah, I think overall it's a very, very nice improvement. So we'll set that aside. I'm probably going to be referring back to iOS 14 as we go throughout this video here. So yeah, that is one of the major app redesigns, and Safari got a redesign as well. And you can see here, it looks a lot different. There's actually no address bar at the top anymore. It's down here, though it does move up, you know, when you actually go to type in it. This is just on the, like, new tab page here. They just move it down here to the bottom. It's a little more easily accessible, though it will take, you know, people who are used to just tapping up here whenever you want to go to a website, you know, type in a URL, you'll have to get used to it being down here. But when we go to a website, like we go to apple.com, I think when you scroll, oh no, it stays down there. Okay, so I thought, for some reason, I thought it moves up to the top of the screen, but that only happens when you're typing, which makes sense because it needs to have space for the keyboard to come up, right? But yeah, so it stays down here at the bottom. And yeah, full disclosure, I didn't watch the entire keynote. I saw, some segments of it. I was actually working on a video project as I was, tuning in and out of the keynote. So, I would tune in for like a little bit, listen to what was going on, and then get back to what I was working on. So I didn't catch the entire keynote, but I was able to, go to Apple's website and, read through what was new here. Because if you click on see the preview, it'll come up and show you what's new in iOS 15. And FaceTime got a lot of really awesome improvements. And SharePlay, I think, is super cool. This essentially allows you to share a video with your FaceTime call, so you can like watch a movie together. I think that they're really trying to compete with Zoom, because Zoom obviously throughout 2020 became very, very popular, and Apple's wanted to compete with that. And I think they've got a pretty respectable offering here. They added a lot of cool new features to FaceTime, and the fact, like I said, that you can use it on Windows and Android is huge, because it's going to allow people who don't have Apple devices to join FaceTime calls. Now, Safari is going to, it's definitely going to take a little while for people to get used to the fact that the address bar is down here now. Just for comparison, again, here's iOS 14. I'll zoom out a little bit here so you can see both phones here. And, we are used to having the address bar up here at the top. You got your reload button, and then over here is your little pop-out menu, so you can change the text size, hide the toolbar, request desktop, website, etc. Down here, you would have your back and forward buttons, your share sheet, bookmarks, and, to view other tabs, right? They've really simplified all that down here. So all you have now is the address bar. You've got the back button, which you see I just actually tapped on it and brought up the address bar, though I wasn't clicking right on it. And you can see that, when I go back a page, now there's a forward button that shows up. So that's there. You've got your tabs here, so I can press on that. You can see it's actually kind of bugging out a little bit there. This is your tab menu here, how you get access to your tabs, which has been redesigned. We'll come back to that. And then this here is basically everything else. So this gives you reader, read later, reload, which I actually don't like the reload button being in there. I kind of hope they move that out to here. Here is the current iOS 14 Safari tab interface. And the best way I can describe it for any non-iOS user out there is it's kind of like a Rolodex, where you can scroll through all your tabs here. You tap on one, so say this Wikipedia page, I can scroll through it, read it, do whatever I want, and then tap the tab button at the bottom right. It kind of folds it in, and I can scroll through to another tab. Very, very simple to use, but you can't see the entire website, right? You can really only see like the top, let's say 10% of it, right? Now, this obviously differs if you only have like 1 or 2 tabs open. You can see more of it, right? Well, what they've done here is they've gone with a Google Chrome style approach, because the Google Chrome iOS app is very similar to this. And so you can see more of the web page, and you can also pinch to zoom into them. So if I want to kind of pinch to zoom into this and see if it's okay, like this is a website that I want to go to, or maybe you're like looking for, open tab that you had and you can't see exactly what this is, you can just pinch into it and go, oh yeah, that's what I want, and I just tap on it, there we go. And then you can also do the opposite. You can pinch out like that, and you can also group tabs. So if I wanted to make a new empty tab group, we can call this test. So I can add, like if I wanted to bring this one here, I think you can hold on it, move to tab group, and we'll change it to test, and now that will be in this tab group here. So yeah, it really gives you the ability to, because that's one thing about Safari on iOS 14 and the previous versions, is when you had like a bunch of tabs open, you didn't really have a way of grouping them, right? So yeah, that is iOS 15's version of Safari. And like I said, there is definitely going to be a bit of a learning curve for people who are really used to how it works on iOS 14, because, like they've moved, like I said, the address bar to the bottom. They have moved a lot of the options in this 3-dot menu here. So that's how you get to reload and share now. And I honestly, like I said, I would really prefer the reload. And I really think the reload and share buttons should just be right out here. So yeah, we'll get out of Safari here. And one other thing I wanted to show off, which I think is really useful, is the live text feature in the camera app. So we can go to the camera app here, and essentially what this allows you to do is you can point the camera at some text on like a physical object, like we've got this Netscape Navigator floppy diskette here. Nope, it looks like it doesn't work on the iPhone 6s. At least that is according to this Reddit user right here who said it's only for A12 and above, A12 meaning the A12 chip. And literally, like, I went to like 5 different articles. None of them mention anything about like what device it works on. It's really annoying. Like, so you're not going to be able to use live text on, if this guy is correct, anything below the A12 chip. So any devices that have the A11 and below. But live text, you know, it was a feature very similar to Google Lens. You Android users probably know what that is. And what it would let you do is use OCR to actually copy text on an image. So like you could copy this here and paste it into the Notes app or really do whatever you want with it. So I thought that was pretty cool, and that'll be neat to try out on my iPhone 11. But yeah, I could talk about a lot more and make this video even longer than it already is, but we've really only scratched the surface, especially with the notifications. We could talk about this new notification summary view here. We can choose when we want it delivered, get what's important, so you can choose basically what apps you want. So let's say, which of course there's not enough data to order apps by daily notification average, will appear in 7 days, but like say I want to hear from the App Store, the Books app, the calendar, and FaceTime. We can add these 4 apps and I can choose when I want it delivered. So let's say at 8 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. for your second summary, we can turn that on, and now I will get those, which I don't have any notifications, you know. I've only gotten this one reminder here. But yeah, like I said, this is not a full iOS 15 review. This is my very first time using it. This was just installing it on the iPhone 6s, which, by the way, I've been very impressed so far with the performance here. This has performed much better than I was expecting it to. I mean, I've really noticed no slowdowns. And again, this is not in any way a definitive performance test, like a review of like this is just me using the phone, opening up some applications, showing you guys a couple of the new features. And so far, like I said, I've really noticed no major slowdowns, which I think, again, on the iPhone 6s, this is pretty impressive. Now, I expect battery life, you can see I've had this thing plugged in the entire time here. I expect battery life to be abysmal on this thing. The battery life on this phone has already been pretty bad. When this was my main phone and I was using iOS 13 on it, I had to leave the phone in low power mode for the entire day. And by the end of the day, it would be at like 20 to 30%. It was pretty bad, right? And that was with like light to moderate usage. I was not on my phone like 24/7. That was with light, moderate usage. And just to show you, if we go into settings here, it's not the battery. The battery, though, now it's, I wonder if it's lower now. No, 93%. That's about what it was before. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you have, like a secondary device like this that you use for testing battery life, which I'm sure if you're installing these betas, you absolutely are already used to that and you know the drill. But yeah, guys, there you have it. That is my installation adventure of getting iOS 15 on the iPhone 6s. And hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, I know this is a lot different from the content that I usually do, though we still had some MJD-ness in this video. We had a couple things go wrong, and hey, that just adds to the fun of the video, right? But if you enjoyed this one, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Be sure to get subscribed down below. Turn on those channel notifications if you haven't already to get notified whenever I upload a new video, which I do multiple times every single week on this channel. Be sure to drop a comment letting me know if you want to see more iOS-focused content in the future. I mean, if you guys really like this, I could take a look at, some more iOS-related tech experiments. I know I've had some people say, like, do some more Apple-related content, and, well, here you go. Here's some more Apple-related content for those of you who have been wanting it, and I can definitely do more iOS/Mac-related experiments in the future if you guys want me to. So be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.